Hello everyone and welcome to Storytime with me, Miss Anna. Lovely to see you all on this lovely Sunday morning. Today's story, I'm going to give you a clue. It's about one of the biggest mammals in the whole wide world. Can you guess? Have a little chat to whoever is next to you. Which animal am I talking about? One of the biggest mammals in the whole wide world. I heard somebody say it there, but I'm not going to repeat it. I want it to be a surprise. So, today's story is called The Snail and the Whale. And this whale is a humpback whale. It's very big. Yes, it is very, very big. Now, the author of our story is Julia Donaldson. There's her name. Can anyone here remember? Can you remind me? What is the job of the author of a book? What does that person do? Yes, that person writes the words. That person has got a story in their mind and they want to tell it, but they don't want to sit like me and just tell it like this. They want to put it in a book for you so I can read it to you, mum and dad can read it to you, your adults around you can read it to you, grandmas, grandpas, aunties, uncles, and teachers can read you these books. And you could read them by yourself at some stage. And what about Axel Sheffler? He is the illustrator. What do I mean when I say Axel Sheffler is the illustrator? Yeah, what does he do? Yes, he draws the pictures. Very good. He is an illustrator, or he draws the illustrations, if you want to use the big word for it. So look at these illustrations. It gives you a clue. The front cover of the book gives you a clue to where the story is taking place, and sometimes it gives you a clue about who the characters in the story is going to be. So we can see, yes, we can see the humpback whale, but we can also see, look on his tail. Did you hear my rhyming words? Whale, tail. Look, what can you see? A little snail. Yes, very good. I can also see a crab and a turtle. No more animals, but I can see, whoa, a volcano, yes. So let's have a look and see what kind of a journey are they going to take us on today. Here they're giving us some more clues as where our story is taking place. I can see the ocean. You're right, I can see the ocean. The snail and the whale. This is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. I think that means he wants to go and explore. He wants to go out in the world and see things and do things. He doesn't really have a foot, does he? The sea snail slithered all over the rock. There he is. And gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. how I long to sail," said the tiny snail. She wants to go and sail in the ocean. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet! Don't wriggle! Sit still! Stay put!" But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it! I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." She wrote a message with her slime on the rock to everyone who can see. She wants a lift around the world. I wonder who's going to give her that lift. Do you know? Let's see if you're right. Wow. Massive. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come, sail with me." He is giving him a lift. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far off lands. They're going on a journey with fiery mountains and golden sands. That looks like an amazing island, doesn't it? These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Look at him, hanging on for dear life. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. Uh-oh. Quite deep down below in the ocean. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Wow, that looks super scary, doesn't it? Look how brave the tiny snail is, holding on to the whale's tail, experiencing it all. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, "I feel so small." Because everything around her is super big, enormous, even gigantic. But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. Do you think what happened here to the whale is safe for him? No, you're right. He should be in the water. He should be in the ocean. Whales were not made to stay on the golden sandy beaches. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. "Quick! Off the sand! Back to the sea!" cried the snail. "I can't move on land. I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it!" she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. What do you think she's going to do now? Yes, I heard you saying getting help. She is. She's going to get help. But I wonder where. And she's so small. I hope somebody sees her. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board, as black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail! A snail!" The teacher turns pale. "Look," say the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, "Save the whale." The snail left a message. Remember back in the beginning when he left the message on the big black rock, as black as soot, where he said lift wanted around the world. He did exactly the same here so they could see. Save the whale. It's a message. These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. They're keeping him cool so he doesn't die. Everyone, the whole community, everybody in town is working hard to save the whale. This is the tide coming into the bay. The water's pushing up now, so hopefully it's going to take the whale back in. And these are the villagers shouting, "Hooray!" as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Oh my goodness! They did it! They saved the whale. But they wouldn't have been able to do it without the snail. You're right. Back at the dock, and the flock on the rock, who said, "How time's flown, and haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. I think he's saying thank you for helping him and for saving his life. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. The end. Wow. Such a small little thing, like a snail, able to help such an enormous thing as a whale. Doesn't matter how big or small you are. You can be kind, you can be helpful, no matter where you are. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.